cooking one of my all-time favorite recipes for chicken, probably my #1 favorite recipe for chicken. It's a baked chicken. It's delicious. I have got the spice blend on, some mayo, and now I'm going to sprinkle with panko and a little bit of Parmesan. Pop that in the oven. Here's my lunch for the week. It's gonna be this every day, the baked chicken, and then I made a watermelon, tomato, feta, and basil salad with a little bit of balsamic glaze on it. It's been a bit of a stressful morning. Today, Mika had a vet appointment. She's had it for about a week now. We've noticed that there's like a lump on her arm, and just for peace of mind, like we called the vet, and when we noticed it, and they're like, well, if it's not bothering her, like right now, you can make an appointment. It doesn't have to be an emergency vet, and she's been fine. She's been eating, she's been drinking, no behavior change whatsoever. So we made the appointment. Today was that appointment. I took her in, and if you've ever met Mika, or if you've been following me for any length of time, it's kind of a fun joke, but maybe not for other people, that Mika is a very, shall we say, scared and territorial over her personal space for anybody who is not me or Andrew or anybody that she's around like consistently for months and months and months on end. So basically me and Andrew. She'll let my mom pet her also, because I think she remembers when my mom took care of her while I was looking for an apartment in New York City 10 years ago. Anyway, took her to the vet. I warned them, like, she's very scared of other people. She does not like other people. You might want some gloves. Let me know if I can help. They won't let me go back there with her. It's one of those kind of vets, which is really frustrating and hard to hear because of course she's like screeching back there, and I know she's scared out of her mind, and I just feel absolutely horrible. And they come out and they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to give her a sedative because we don't want to push her and make her feel even more scared than she already is, and it will just kind of help with her anxiety. So they gave me the sedative, and now I have to go back on Wednesday to have it looked at. I'm just like really nervous because I've never given her any sort of sedative or any kind of like medication like that except for when she was little and was sick when she was little, but she's never been sick. So I'm just like terrified to give her this sedative. I know it will be fine, you know, but I'm just like really nervous about it and hope that the lump is like not a serious issue also. So keep your fingers crossed for me. She is my sweet baby. I have a really special relationship with Mika in particular. Like, she spoons me every night. We cuddle on the couch. Like, you guys see, like, she sits in my lap for hours and hours on end. Like, she is my special baby. And if anything were to unexpectedly happen to her, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. Here's the result of our veggie build your own bowls night. I did a sweet potato, black bean, with some quick pickled onions, pickled carrots, lettuce, rice, avocado, a chipotle dressing, and Andrew made like a tofu banh mi style bowl. You made pickled cucumbers and carrots. You made rice. You have your tofu.
Yeah, the tofu's got lemongrass and garlic and ginger. And it's like lightly fried. It's good.
Yeah. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, today's been a sucky, rough day, yes. So I took Mika to the vet for the second time this week with sedatives. She was under sedatives. I felt horrible even giving them to her. I've never given them to her before, but I just felt terrible, like I was drugging her, even though I know it will help her anxiety. They couldn't see her the first time on Monday, so they sent me home with the sedatives.
They didn't want to.
Right, because they didn't want to stress her out is what they were saying. Makes sense, but they wouldn't let me go back there with her either. I tried to ask if I could go back there with her. They said no. And I was like, can you give her an injection and just do it now? Because I don't want to like take her to the vet multiple times. They said no. So they sent me home with the sedatives. I gave them to her, felt terrible. And apparently she's like immune to sedatives. Not immune, because she definitely, they definitely work on her, but they just take longer to kick in than what they were expecting. So gave her the sedatives, came back for the second day, and they couldn't see her again. By this time, I'll admit, you know, I'd had it.
And then they gave you an estimate for over $1,000.
Yeah, for over $1,000 to put her under, to come back again, put her under, and then look at it and biopsy it. They don't even know, you know, and they also
didn't look at it.
Yeah, they didn't even look at it.
They wanted to
charge me $1,000 for this.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, everybody, I think I must have repeated what was even wrong with her in the first place, or why I was there, like 3 or 4 different times in the 2 visits that I had been there. And so they thought, up until today, they apparently thought she was 2 years old. She's 11. You know, like, I can't.
You just have to look at her to know she's not 2.
I know, like, so needless to say, I'm extremely frustrated with this vet, and I don't want to name and shame, but one of my close knitting friends on Instagram, she guessed it immediately, probably because she used to live in this neighborhood, and I'm just so shocked because they have such good reviews. I was expecting more, but I think the issue is that maybe they're just good with dogs and they're not good with like challenging cats, because Mika is a challenging cat. Like, she is so lovely and so sweet to me and Andrew, to people when she's like known them for a while, but she does not like strangers at all. Like, you could not pet her. There's no way a stranger could pet her. So to like come at her and approach her, much less try to look at something on her arm, like, no. Like, I totally understand that they need to sedate her, but why they couldn't give her an injection, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm done with this vet. They were so rude to me when I was there, but I was like, why can't we do this now? You know, like, I've shown you guys the pictures, you know what it looks like. Why can't we do this now? And he's like, because I don't have time to do it right now. What do you want me to do about that? And I was like, okay, I guess I'll take your Friday appointment, but I think this is ridiculous. I followed all of your rules. I did exactly what you told me to do. You guys know what this is. It's like, I knew this was going to be a biopsy going into it. So I've decided to not go back. At Andrew's encouragement to see another vet, I'm going to see her previous vet at less than half the cost.
About a third.
Yeah, about a third. So yeah, done with that. But still, this is only the beginning, you know, she hasn't even been seen yet. I have no clue if this is something serious or not. I honestly don't know. So she gets seen on Wednesday, the day after this video gets posted. Wish me luck. But my love has taken me out to get a beverage at our local bar, and now we're headed home, taking a walk through the park, and it's gorgeous. It's golden hour outside. Look how pretty it is. And we're taking a walk home, and we're gonna watch a movie. We're making jambalaya. I don't know what movie we're gonna watch yet. Hoping for a better evening than this day has been. Good morning, everyone. Hoping for a better day today than yesterday. I'm going to put some of my favorite strategies in place to help with that, but I did want to share that yesterday I used this new sample of a shampoo and conditioner, and it was amazing. I don't know if it's just because it was new, and you know when you like change up your shampoos, your hair sometimes responds just really well to something different. But I love this enough, this sample, that I'm gonna full on buy the shampoo and conditioner. It was a sample I got from Sephora. It's a brand called Way, and it's their medium hair shampoo and conditioner. So I don't know, I loved it. My hair was so silky soft. Even still today, I'm like, yeah, in love with it. So I will definitely be getting both the shampoo and conditioner for that, but I wanted to share that with you in case you're looking for a good shampoo and conditioner. My hair type is very fine, so I'm always looking for something that's going to give it a little bit more body, but even though it's fine, it always feels like dehydrated too. So this conditioner did like wonders for it. So 10 out of 10 after one wash. It was like an overnight, not even overnight, like an immediate difference once it dried. So I can't wait to get the shampoo and conditioner full size in the mail. Hello! We are on our way to Henry's Vietnamese. They have such good bubble tea. I'm obsessed right now, in love. I just like can't get enough. So that's what we're going to do, is get a little bubble tea refreshment. Today's been a much better day than yesterday. Bubble tea's secured. Is there anything better than a bubble tea and a stroll in the park on a summer afternoon? All I can say is Mika is definitely back to her normal self. No sedatives taking her down. No, sir. I am in the craft room, resuming work on my jeans. The white denim that I ordered to cut the new back yoke for the shorts still has not arrived yet. It was supposed to come today, but it has not. So alas, I will just continue onward with the jeans. I had stopped because I was trying to like batch sew them together so I could have 2 pairs of jeans and shorts at the same time, but that's okay. I'll just finish the jeans and then finish the shorts once the other fabric comes in and I can cut the new piece. And it's also a blessing in disguise because I think I told you guys, maybe I didn't, that I had to cut the waistband, one of the waistbands of the 2 items in 2 pieces. So now I can recut the waistband for the shorts at like full length, and so I'll have enough fabric to do that now, which is nice. So yep, you what? I know, you're so hungry. Oh no.
What?
My waistband is too short on this one too. I thought I cut this one full length, but I guess I didn't. That's annoying. I guess I should just wait for that fabric to come in before I can, hopefully I'll have enough for 2 waistbands and the yoke. I mean, surely, I think I got a yard. Oh, that's so annoying. It's only like 1.5 inches, 2 inches too short. I hate it when I get stalled on a project and can't continue until I get materials. It sucks. Because these are like almost, it's like I'm at the stage, I just have to apply the waistband and then I can even try it on, but I can't even try it on because I don't want to stretch it out until the waistband's on.
Yeah.
Ugh, angst. Good morning, guys. Actually, I should say good afternoon. because it is afternoon. It is Friday. We're in a US holiday weekend and I have an early dismissal from work. So now I'm trying to figure out what to sew. If you saw from last night, unfortunately, the waistband on my normal jeans, so I cut a pair of jeans and I cut a pair of shorts. I ran out of fabric to recut the back yoke piece for the shorts. So I had to order another half yard of fabric, which was somewhat a blessing in disguise because I also had to cut the waistband of one of these two projects in 2 pieces. So I was like, well, great, now I can just recut that waistband. But it turns out that the normal long size one is also too short. I thought I could cut it full size. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, so now I'm completely stalled on both the jeans and the shorts, and the white denim fabric was supposed to arrive yesterday, but has not arrived yet. So boo hiss, I'm just gonna whine about it because why does this always happen? You know, I have like such a groove on a project and then I get stalled out when I run out of a material that I need or figure out that I don't have something that I need, or in this case, didn't have enough fabric for both the shorts and the pants because I got greedy. Anyway, so because it's going to be some time before that fabric will arrive, I'm not sure when it's going to. It says it hasn't even shipped yet. I'm trying to decide what to make in the interim. So I have a few projects. I was thinking I would just show you the ones that I was interested in making. Okay, let's go through the projects. And in case you're curious, this is a dress from H&M that I got earlier this season, and it's one of my favorites. It's super comfortable. I wear it all the time. All right, so the first project I was thinking about is called the Dream Top by Memoir Patterns. I'll put a picture of it on the screen for you. I have actually three different options for fabrics that I could make or use with this pattern to make it. So this is the fabric I originally purchased for it. I got this in the garment district ages ago, specifically for this top. I just haven't done it yet or haven't made it yet because the pattern is a taped together PDF pattern only. She doesn't even have the copy shop or A0 size available. I even emailed her to ask and she was like, no, sorry, I don't have like copy shop patterns for my patterns. And I was like, ugh. So that's what's slowing me down. I still haven't taped together the PDF pattern, but maybe a holiday weekend is the time, you know? So I got this fabric for that specifically. It's a silk blend. That's all I know. That's what they told me at the shop in the garment district. And it is really soft and has this really beautiful, almost suede-like sheen to it. It's really nice, has a beautiful fluid drape to it. I think it will look really good with this top. But this isn't such a summery color, although I think I would still get a lot of use out of a navy version of the Dream Top. So I was also considering this fabric, which this is the back of it that you're looking at here. Let me see if I can. It almost looks reversible. I guess it's kind of up to me, but yeah, I suppose this really is the back. Okay, so I have this rayon dobby, which also has a really beautiful drape, and it's just more of a summery color that I'm into at the moment. These kind of like more pastels and brighter colors. So I was thinking I could make it out of this, but I do have like, I want to say 3 to 4 yards of this fabric. This was one I purchased in a recent fabric haul video that I showed you a while ago. I think I have at least 3 to 4 yards of this, so it'd be kind of a shame to separate a yard of this, which is what I would need for the top, from the rest of the quantity that I have, because I could obviously use this to its full potential or use it better if I could have the full amount to use. So that's kind of what holds me back, but I love the color of it. I think it would make a beautiful top. And then the third option I was thinking for the Dream Top is this like pastel purple periwinkle color, but the drape on this is quite crisp and I'm not sure that it's right. It's like a shirting fabric almost, and I'm not sure that it's right for the Dream Top. I think it would be better off as like a shirt type of top, if you know what I mean. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence about this one, but I'll hold on to this because my second idea is another McCall's 8030. As you may know, if you watch my vlogs regularly, I did just finish an olive green dress version of this, View A, which I absolutely love. And it's so similar to a top that I have in my wardrobe, a ready-to-wear top that I got from TJ Maxx, like I want to say 2 years ago now at this point. And I really want to make a top version of it. So just another view A, but cut it shorter into a top. And I think that this one could make a great top for that. And I also think that this one could make a great top for that. So my ready to wear version is a more fluid draped fabric, so this would look really nice with it. But I think that a structured top would also, or a structured fabric would also look really good with this top as well. So I think this would be a good use of that fabric and like a fun addition to my wardrobe. I can really imagine this like with the white jeans that I'm making right now, or the white shorts. I think it would look really cute with that. So maybe this is a good option for that rather than the dream top. The next pattern option is Vogue 1643. I got this one pretty recently as well, like within a few months, and I really want to make view D, the skirt, this like very pleated skirt. I love the ribbon on the bottom. Really, the whole set is extremely Gucci-like in its like color story and appearance and the style of it. It just gives me major Gucci vibes, especially this like red and green ribbon trim that they have on the samples. I love everything, like the whole thing on this skirt. So I have already in my stash for a while this kind of like cream color. It's a more warm tone rayon crepe de chine, or maybe this is a polyester crepe de chine. I can't remember. I bought it just because I really like the color and it works really well against my skin tone. It's not too similar to my skin tone, so I don't look naked necessarily if I'm wearing it, but it is more of that like neutral kind of color vibe. It just works really well for me. Any fabric I show you, I will link in the description box for you if they're still like available online. Like sometimes I've purchased some of these too long ago and they're not even on fabric.com anymore, but if they're available, I will link it. So I just really like this one because I think it works really well for my skin tone, and I really want to use it for this View D skirt, but I don't have the ribbon for it yet. This like red and green ribbon, if we can get it to focus better. I don't know, it's kind of hard, but there's like a red and green striped ribbon on the bottom, and I would really like to get that ribbon. I think it would look really cool. It's just like a fun detail. But yeah, I really like the color story of the skirt, and I think it would be a fun addition to the wardrobe. So that is another contender. Two more options. You can see I have like a lot of inspiration right now, so I can't figure out what to make. The next one, I'll put a picture on the screen of my inspiration. I've showed this a few videos ago, but I love the green gingham dress. Unfortunately, the green gingham sold out on fabric.com. I bought what I thought I was getting was 3 yards, but when it arrived there was only 1 yard in it, and it was like not available. I bought the rest of what they had, and I think all they had was the 1 yard. But I was able to get this oatmeal color, this like sand taupe color, and I think this will make an equally pretty version of that dress. And I've used this pattern several times now. McCall's 7777, and the bodice fits me really well. It's actually like a jumpsuit pattern, and this one might be a skirt, I'm not sure, but I don't like the center seam right there, so I pretty much just use this for the bodice only, and then I'll draft a skirt and then a gathered tier to add to it, a la my inspiration. I was thinking of using this gingham fabric. I was much more gung-ho on gingham a few months ago, but I don't know, the more I look at it and the more I see it in clothing, like pictures and stuff, I'm just getting less and less interested in it. So I feel like I need to make this now while it's summertime, while I'll still be interested in wearing it, because I'm not super into the cottagecore trend, really. It's not like my personal style aesthetically. This is kind of like as far as I lean into it. I think because the bodice of it is quite edgy, so I like the juxtaposition of a more like sexy bodice with a more like demure, should we say, like fabric choice, like fabric print. But the more that I see gingham, the less interested I am in it. So I feel like I need to use this now before I risk not wanting to use it at all. So that's like kind of pushing me to make this one. I'm still interested in it, and I think I would still like to wear it, but I hope this is not too trendy for my taste right now. So, or to stand a test of time, shall we say. So that's what I'm thinking for that one. And then last but not least, I'll have to insert a picture here of a Doan dress that I'm really in love with. And I can't show you the fabric because it's currently in the washing machine right now. But I did show it in a previous haul video. It's like a 5-ounce European linen is what it's called, in the brick colorway. It's 100% linen. I've used this same fabric before in a different colorway for a green, like a sage green dress that I have, and I love that dress so much. It's the dress I got engaged into, so it has like special memories for me. But I bought like this, it's called brick. It's like a dark, like reddish brown fabric. In fact, I was expecting when it arrived to be a little more plum, like a little more purple leaning, so I was kind of on the fence about whether or not I was going to keep it, but I decided ultimately I still think it's a beautiful color, so I'll still find a use for it. So I did keep it. It's in the washing machine now, and I really would like to use it for this Doan dress as inspiration. And really all I have that I think I'll need for that is this bodice right here, which I'll convert into a button-up top just by like cutting the bodice pattern pieces in half rather than on the fold, and extending the width of that pattern piece as well to give myself enough room to make the button placket. So that's kind of the plan, is to use this Simplicity pattern, which I've used many times. It's Simplicity 8635, and I just love this bodice right here. It's just come in handy for so many things. It's got a great scoop to it. I like the darting on it. It's got bust darts and waist darts, so it fits really well. And then I'll just draft a skirt and gathered tiers to go with it, and it'll be a button-up dress. This is kind of a dress I've already made a few times with various like small tweaks technically, but I've essentially made this dress before. It's just like changing up some small details, like I might want to change the width of the straps versus other ones that I've made, etc. So it wouldn't really be too challenging to make. I've essentially made this dress before. Those are my options. I can't decide what to make. Like I said, part of me is kind of tempted to go ahead and get this one out of the way because of the aforementioned waning interest in gingham prints, but I don't want to like force myself to make something just because I think that, you know, what if I make this and then I just don't wear it? You know, I don't know. I still think it's a gorgeous fabric. I love the colors in it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really, I'm quite interested in the Gucci inspired skirt, but I don't want the same thing to happen to me while I'm making this that's really happened right now with the white jeans. I need to order the ribbon, and I don't want to like get stalled on being able to make this skirt because I don't have the ribbon. But the other one that's really appealing to me is this 8030 as a top, either with this one right here or with this one right here. But like I said, with this one is I have like 3 or 4 yards of it, so it'd be a shame to separate this from the rest of the quantity that I have. So I feel like this is really the better idea. I do have some other, now that I think about it, some other shirting types of fabrics that could potentially be a good mixture for a more structured top. Potentially, I don't know, let me go look. There are a few in there that would be really cool, but I did find this one. It's a blue small window pane check. I've had this in my stash for ages. This is another one that I got in the garment district, so I don't think I'll be able to find like a link for you to shop it, but I've just been really stuck on what to make with this because I really love the color and the scale of the check, and I just think it's definitely a shirt or a top quantity, so this would make a really cool top, I think. I don't know, kind of between these two for 8030, and I have everything I need to make this, so that's like a real plus. Otherwise I can make the Doan dress as well. I think I'll hold off on the Gucci skirt. Let's just say that. I'll hold off on the Gucci inspired skirt just because I don't have the ribbon yet, but I'm gonna find the ribbon and order that ASAP so I can make that when it gets here. So really I'm just kind of between gingham, the Doan inspired dress with the fabric that's in the washing machine right now, or the 8030 top in one of these two. Decision has been made. M8030 as a top, and I'm going to use this gorgeous blue window pane small check fabric, but I am 90% sure that this fabric has not been pre-washed. So I'm gonna do it for this because I'm sure this is 100% cotton and it will most definitely shrink if I don't pre-wash it. So this is a slightly oversized garment, but I want it to look oversized as well. So I'm gonna pre-wash this. While I wait for my fabric to wash, I'm going to take this opportunity to finish this white dress up. So it is finish. All I really have left to do you see where the underskirt is a little bit longer in part of it over here? All I really have left to do is cut this shorter and then re-serge the edge, and then it's finished, and that's it. I'm gonna use my dress form to help me out. To be honest, I'm thinking of selling the dress form because I'm just not getting the use out of it that I thought I would, and that's probably because I don't do any draping, which is a shame because it's a skill I would really love to learn. And there are a couple people I follow on Instagram, Lindsay the Stitch Fits and Candace Sew Bake Make, and they're both really getting into draping right now, and it looks so fun. But to be honest, I could never get this dress form to pad out my measurements for some, I mean, I wouldn't say for some reason, it's just like I always end up falling between the small size and the large size, and whenever they bucket it into two different things, and I needed the small dress form for the top and the larger dress form for the bottom, so I could just never get it to really accurately reflect my measurements. No matter how much padding it out I did, it just never really worked for me. But I think it will work for this really simple task of cutting that hem shorter. Like I said, it's like gonna be so flowy and drapey as I'm walking. You really won't notice it if it's not super even for the underskirt layer anyway, so I think it will be just fine. This dress form does come with a hem marker attachment to it, so I think rather than just taking a pair of scissors and like around it, 1.5 inches, so like at the top right there for the underskirt layer, and just put pins on the under layer all the way around it. Well, that was easy. Might be worth keeping the dress form just for that. Although I haven't cut and hemmed it yet, so maybe I shouldn't speak until it's actually hemmed. Here it is. That hem attachment worked like a charm. It's perfect. In fact, I feel like it may be worth keeping the dress form just for that, because I can't tell you how many times I've needed someone to help me pin the hem when I could have just use that the whole time. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfectly straight. The dress is gorgeous. The only thing I would change next time is to make the bodice a little bit longer, because where the skirt attaches to the bodice is higher than my natural waist. Really, my natural waist is like more like right here. So it needed to be about 2 inches longer-ish. But I can kind of fake it a little bit longer if I position the belt like right below the seam line of the waistline, so I can fake it a little bit if I wear a belt with it. I've paired it with this brown woven leather belt, faux leather, it's pleather. And yeah, but other than that, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think it's so elegant, so timeless and classic. I cannot wait to wear this on my honeymoon, which is kind of what inspired me to make it, honestly. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Tonight we are making one of our favorites. It is called the deconstructed falafel salad. I'll be sure to leave it linked in the description box, but basically it's got like spiced baked chickpeas in it, lettuce of course, homemade hummus, homemade pita chips. You can basically go as like all out or as easy as you want to go, because of course you could just buy pita chips or you could buy hummus, but you know, we never do anything halfway, so we make it.
Yeah, it's worth it. It tastes so good.
I know, it's amazing.
But if you want to go the easy route, this is a really quick recipe. It's like,
for sure.
Yeah.
We changed the recipe quite a bit though, because it calls for like a bunch of fresh herbs too, like mint and parsley and like a lot of stuff in it. But and just, I don't really like that stuff because it gets caught in the throat too easily. So we just do romaine and we add cucumbers and tomatoes. But yeah, so I'm making hummus right now and I'm one-handedly shelling the outer layer of chickpeas because it makes the hummus so much creamier. I'll leave my hummus recipe linked for you as well. So here are the chickpeas that we're about to throw in the oven. What did you put in your mixture?
Cumin, paprika, smoky paprika, salt, pepper, a little bit of parsley flakes, and it's garlic and the rosemary infused olive oil.
Now when I say shelling chickpeas, basically I'm just kind of squeezing gently between my fingers and just removing this outer shell. I'm not too overly fussed about it. Like, I basically would just set a timer for 3 to 5 minutes and shell however many I could get in that time period. It's not like crucial that every single one gets it, but it will definitely help the hummus be a lot smoother and creamier. Now, homemade pita chips are a game changer, and if you are not making, or if you've never made homemade pita chips before, oh my gosh, could not be easier. Okay, so you take pita pockets, fold out into the two sides, butter them, and then you're going to sprinkle them with oregano, onion, salt, and thyme. And then you're gonna cut those into halves and then cut the halves into quarters. I'll show you once it's all on and once they're all cut. And then after you have them all prepped and ready, you'll put them on a baking sheet and bake in the oven at 400 degrees or 425 degrees Fahrenheit from anywhere until like, I don't know, 7 to 12 minutes, depending on how crispy you like them. Andrew likes his kind of underbake and I like mine like pretty crispy. So it just kind of depends on what you prefer. That's it, and then these just go on the baking sheet, like so. You can put them really close together, as many as you can fit on a pan. And then, like I said, these will just go in the oven at like 400, 425-ish for 7 to 11 minutes. Okay, truth be told, we weren't paying enough attention, and these got too crispy. These ones right here look really good though. Those are kind of like what I would like in their prime. Andrew would probably like them even more underbaked than this, but this is a little too burned. We're still gonna eat them, maybe not those two. Andrew made us the dressing. This is also in the recipe, and then we're gonna spoon some of this hummus on top, and bon appetit. But I need it. I need that. No, don't. This fabric is very precious stash, and now I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive about making this project with it. Is it the right one? I don't know. I really like the idea of using this for some sort of dress, but the drape is not really right for a dress. So I don't know. I'm like on the fence. Plus I don't really have that much of it. I don't know. Maybe I do have like 3 yards of it. Maybe 2.5. It's not very wide though either. I don't know. Is this the right pattern. Why am I waffling so much? I think it's just because I love this fabric so much, so I'm a little apprehensive about cutting into it. Like, I love the idea of doing something like a corset with this, but the print is so busy and so small that you would never see any of the architectural construction of something like a corset. As you can see, I decided to cut out the gingham dress. I'm only using the bodice from this pattern, so I've cut out that bodice, and then I have all of this extra fabric left to make the skirt with hopefully a gathered tier on it. There may not be enough to do a gathered tier, we'll have to see. But I can at least get a decent skirt out of the rest of that. I'm gonna start with this tomorrow. And then I'll cut the skirt out after I have finished constructing the bodice. See you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy weekend. It is Saturday today. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I really had to force myself to come out here this morning. I'm trying to be good about making this a habit. I've done it every day for the past 2.5 weeks. Excuse me. And yeah, this is just one of those moments for me when I'm trying to start forming a new habit that like the motivation starts tapering off a little bit, and then your dedication just like really has to take over. In fact, oh no, it's starting to rain. I just started. Should I turn back? Should I keep going? Hold on, let me check the weather. It's just drizzling. I'm just gonna keep up with it. If it starts raining, it starts raining, but it kind of sucks because I normally watch an episode of Love Island when I walk around this track. I've been thinking about making a video about like how I achieve my goals. Over the years, I get one of probably my like most frequently asked questions over the years is like, how do you learn this stuff, or how do you have the motivation to do these things, or you know, like how do you like get all of this stuff done essentially. And I do actually feel like I have a lot to say on this topic, or a lot of things that I think about in regards to building habits, especially creative habits. So if that's a video you guys are interested in, let me know. I may make it anyway, just because, yeah, I have a lot of thoughts around forming and creation and sticking to habits and like what makes me successful at that. Like with anything, what I do is not going to work for everybody, of course, but if you're interested in a video on that topic, let me know. So after taking a shower and spending a ridiculous amount of time lounging in bed after said shower, do any of you guys do that? I love like laying in bed after I've taken a shower and just like lounging. Yeah, luxuriating in bed after taking a shower. Anyway, so I've got a coffee now. We're heading to our local bookstore because I really want to get this book that I've been wanting to read for a while called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It takes place in 1700s France, and there's like a little bit of fantasy element to it too, where she's got this curse that no one remembers her after they meet her, and then all of a sudden somebody does. So I'm just very intrigued. Never mind. They're closed for another hour still. I am in a major lounging mood. I don't feel like sewing, I don't feel like crafting, I don't feel like doing anything except lounging and watching TV today. Maybe I should just listen to that inner voice and have a day of lounge. It's funny though, because sewing usually is quite a relaxing activity to me because I go about it in a very like slow and, I don't know, leisurely pace. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just not feeling like doing anything today. Sunday. Andrew and I are at our local bagel place to get a bagel to share, and then we're gonna get a coffee, and we're gonna take another walk around Greenwood Cemetery today. Yesterday I worked on my new sewing project, which has been fun. Today I think we're gonna go out into the city for a little out city date, day date today. And of course I'll take you along with us. Today's bagel of choice, Andrew got my favorite bagel for us to share. We got a toasted everything pumpernickel bagel. Tree right here. It's called a smoke bush for obvious reasons. When it's in flower, it has like these amazing plumes on it, but for the rest of the year, it has this gorgeous like dark purpley green foliage on it whenever the flower plumes drop. One of my favorite things about being with Andrew is that I always, because he's such a history nut, like you've read so, especially when it comes to World War I, but literally like anything, I feel you're like my own personal Alexa, where he just like tells me all these little vignettes and stories like as it's applicable of like things in history. So I just got this cool little history lesson about George Washington in Brooklyn in 1776, and it was just very, I don't know, I just love stuff like that, like slices of history and fun info that he...
When it overlaps with the neighborhood.
Exactly. I was just telling him, like, I wish I could find more books like The Big Oyster by Mark Kurlansky, which was like a slice of history through a lens of oysters, and it happened to take place in New York City, or A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which is a fiction novel by Betty Smith, but that took place right where I lived when I lived in Williamsburg, which was really cool. So if you have any suggestions for me of especially history, like historical fiction, or even if it's real, like actual history books that are just kind of gripping, think things like Eric Larson, Mark Kurlansky, where they write history through like a lens, especially if it takes place in New York. Would love to hear any suggestions that you have, New York or not, but especially New York.
It's amazing. There's hundreds.
You guys, I don't think you can hear this, but this whole bush, which I just ID'd as a shrub St. John's wort, is filled with what has to be thousands of bees in here. It's crazy. They are going absolutely nuts. The whole bush is like humming with it. It's amazing. The flowers are so interesting. Look at that. So cool. And the bees are just going nuts for it. This place really tickles my brain. I feel like every time, this is the second time in 2 weeks that we've been here, but both times that we've come here, it's just a really inspiring place to be, whether it's from a history perspective or planting, because it's got so much like really beautiful planting in here. The bees that we just experienced all over that shrubby St. John's wort. So every time that we've come here so far has been something new and exciting and yeah, brain tickling. We just arrived at Astor Place. We're gonna stop by STRAND bookstore because I really want to get that book because it was closed yesterday. Maybe a coffee, not that I need a second one. My favorite coffee shop in New York City, The Bean, is over by Strand Bookstore, and they have this drink called the Nutella Fitzgerald. It's, as it sounds, a Nutella coffee drink, and it is delicious. But Strand just opened a coffee shop within their bookstore, so now it's like even more the perfect bookstore. Going to be our lunch stop of choice. We're going to go to Mission Ceviche. I didn't know that's what you were getting, did you? Diagnosing?
Trying to figure it out.
Well, I have to say, that was a 10 out of 10 for me. The ceviche.
The ceviche was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The other stuff?
Yeah, we got
good, but not life-changing.
The funny thing is we ordered 2 ceviche dishes, a tomato salad, and a chicken entree, and we ordered the chicken and the tomatoes kind of as a fail-safe for me because I don't usually like seafood, but I really like raw seafood, which is straight, like I like ceviche and I like oysters. So we ordered the chicken and the tomato salad as like a backup for me, and they ended up being the weakest links. So if you go there, stick with the ceviche. But the presentation of the food in there was amazing. They had like really cool cocktails, as you saw, which I wasn't expecting. The restaurant decor was really nice and pretty. It had great ambiance. We will definitely go back and just stick to the ceviche menu because it was so good. The sauces were so unique and interesting. It wasn't an overwhelming menu. To me, it's a huge red flag when a restaurant has way too much on their menu because there's no way they can make each dish the best it can be or be putting all of their effort into making each dish good if there's too many things on the menu. So I prefer a more like limited menu. I feel like that's a good sign of a good sign of a good restaurant. And their menu was like just the right size. Yeah, so if you're in New York City visiting, I mean, I feel like I would even recommend this place to visitors. Mission Ceviche, so loud, sorry. Mission Ceviche in Upper East Side, 10 out of 10, go eat it. Is it New York? Is it Paris? Who knows? So we just finished up at Mission Ceviche. And now we're walking over to the Met, having a little Met Museum date today. We are inside the Met. Andrew and I got a very wonderful engagement gift from your aunt of a Met membership, so that was really cool. We've been trying to use it as much as possible this year. And I am trying to decide right now if I want to read my new books, get started on that, or if I want to work on my sewing project. I'll probably do a little bit of both. Just for a little mini book haul. So I got The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. It's like a fantasy and mystery at the same time, I'm guessing, with maybe a little bit of romance and intrigue thrown in.
You didn't want to get the hardcover.
Oh, I didn't want to get the hardcover, but I couldn't find the paperback. I prefer paperbacks. I don't really like hardcovers because they're like so heavy to hold on to, pretty much. But yeah, I got that. And then I also got The Magpie Murders, or it's just called Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. Let me go get it. This is the book, Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. It's a series. I think there's at least 2, if not 3, in the same series. And my BFF, Emily, she read it and said that it was really, really good. And so I decided to pick this up also. It's a mystery. Says in the fiction, mystery and suspense section. So really excited to read this. And then also on the way home, you know how some people have like, or maybe you don't know, but some people in Brooklyn have these little like cabinets outside the front of their houses and have like a neighborhood library where you can like take a book, leave a book kind of situation. And they had this book, SLADE House by David Mitchell in there. I've read David Mitchell books before. He's kind of like a magical realism author. So if you like authors like Haruki Murakami, for example, who is my all-time favorite author, and other like kind of magical realism books, then you might try David Mitchell's books. I read his book called Ghost Written and it was really good. So I got this one called SLADE House and I'm intrigued. And it's really small so I can like get through this really quickly. As the obsession continues, I cannot get enough of bubble tea right now. I'm just like going through a phase where it's all I want to drink. So we ordered Vietnamese tonight and we got banh mi sandwiches and bubble tea. Hello everyone. Today has been honestly such a busy day. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get this video out on time, which you're probably noticing because it's likely not Tuesday and I have no clue how I'm going to be able to get this video edited in time for today, but it's worth it for it's a good reason. I took Mika to her vet appointment this morning with her old vet, and immediately they invite me to the back. I'm able to get her out of the carrier myself. I weighed her, I showed her their arm. It was a piece of cake, like no muss, no fuss. So it just goes to show, trust your instincts on this sort of thing. If you don't get a good vibe from the vet you're going to or unhappy with their service, I really cannot recommend searching for the right person for you and for your pet. You know, like I knew that Mika would need my help with this. She's just very afraid of other people. That's just how it is. So yeah, so anyway, the good news is the new vet, or her old vet technically, was able to see her and it was not a stressful appointment for her. They got everything they needed. The bad news is, well, it's potentially bad news, but the news is that the lump on her arm is a tumor. Tumors can range from being like completely benign to being, of course, something more serious. And because of the size, they don't really know if they can say it's benign or not because it is pretty big. It's like a nickel size. So they of course offered the biopsy to me, but they're recommending that because of the size, that we remove the lump altogether and then they'll biopsy it then. And so that surgery is scheduled for this Friday. I'm feeling more confident now that I know she's in good care, but of course it's still nerve-wracking because we're at the very beginning of figuring out what it is. I'm just trying to keep positive since I don't know anything yet and because her behavior is so unchanged. The vet called me as soon as they got her blood work in. They took some blood samples today and her blood samples came back really well. They said she's extremely healthy. Yeah, she's doing great otherwise, but the blood work isn't always a sign or an indication of like organ function, which of course a tumor would be more likely to impact, I guess. She explained it to me, but sometimes it's like a blur when they tell you these things on the phone. Anyway, the point is Mika has a surgery on Friday to remove the lump from her arm, but I'm just glad that she's back in the hands of a vet who makes me feel more comfortable, doesn't treat me with such disrespect, honestly, when I was there, and who just didn't listen to me. That's the end of it, you know? So this kind of is, I'm ending this video on a, let's say, more upbeat note compared to how it started. But yeah, I'll keep you updated when I know more. I'm trying to just like stay calm and not freak out until I know anything, and love on her extra hard. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.